Hare Krishna. So today we'll be covering the appearance day anniversary of Shri Advaita Ācārya. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapte Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, we all know the Panch Tattva mantra. We just recited it, right? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So, it's also out there in the back, as well as it's in the display as well, you know, the Panch Tattva deity forms. So when you see Gauranita's altar, you see right in the middle of Gauranita, there is a picture of Panch Tattva. So it's very important that when we are saying this mantra, how it's related to the different personalities, the five, you know, essential tattvas, the significant truths. So, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So in the center is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And from where we are seeing, to us it appears on the left of him is Nityananda Prabhu, who is dressed in blue. So, Prabhu Nityananda. And then, further to the left, as we are seeing, is Advaita Ācārya. He is an aged personality with white beard and is dressed in white. And then, Gadadhar Pandit is to the right of, you know, Lord Gauranga. He is dressed in red. And then Shivas Thakur is further to the right of Gadadhar Pandit. Young, vibrant, you know, devotee. How do you know devotee? Hairstyle. High hairstyle. Yeah, so young, vibrant devotee. So, you know, it's very easy to detect a vibrant devotee from a distance, a young person who's got a nice choti and, you know, ready to dance just at the name of hearing the holy name. So that's Shivas Thakur. Yes. We will be covering that too. Yes. So, yes. I'm just talking about the appearance right now, just so that people can relate. And Advaita Ācārya, just like Mataji identified, he's very vibrant because, can you imagine, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just 18 years old, Advaita Ācārya was 70 years old. He was 52 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's just to give you perspective that he was, and we'll be covering some of his glories as well. Now, it's easy to see from the Panch Tattva mantra as how all the five personalities are there. And then, you know, their truths about their personality, the Tattva aspect, is revealed further in Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So it is said, Panch Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarukam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam. So Lord Krishna, he appears, he descends in this Kali Yuga in his most magnificent forms. I'm using a plural just to identify that there are multiple forms he's appearing as. And so as he's appearing, Bhakta Rupa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in the center, is Bhakta Rupa. He is the devotee himself. He is appearing as his own devotee to test the nectar of love of Godhead. Krishna Prema. So he wants to taste that. So he is appearing himself as a devotee. And Swarupakam. So Bhakta Swarupa is identified as Nityananda Prabhu. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada reveals that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur identified Nityananda Prabhu as the devotee's spiritual master. So he is the Adi Guru, establishes himself. And Bhaktavataram, as an incarnation of the devotee, who appears? Advaita Ācārya, he appears. So, if you pay attention, the three personalities that we have discussed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Ācārya, they are all Prabhu Tattvas. They are all Vishnu Tattvas. And then Bhaktakyam. Bhaktakyam is the one who is called a devotee. That is Shiva's Thakur. And Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Bhakta Shaktikam is the internal potency of the Lord, and Gadadhar Pandit is the manifestation of Radharani. So these are the 5 personalities. And then Panch Tattva Eka Vastu Nahi Kichu Bheda Rasa Asvadite Tabu Vividha Vibheda. So all these 5 truths that we just discussed, they are non-different. Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva is coming, right? Where they're simultaneously same and different. So from the spiritual perspective on the absolute platform, they are non-different. Yet, to enjoy, to relish the different pastimes and to different rasas and relationships, they come up in variety. So that's why it is said that the spiritual world is full of varieties. And we see some perverted reflection of some of the varieties in this material world. So it's full of varieties. Now as we are hearing, and again, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, he very nicely glorifies in every single chapter the 3 Prabhu Tattvas. And who remembers how they are glorified? Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur. So he is calling Advaita Chandra. So he is glorifying him as a moon. He is always dressed in white. So that's very significant. Now in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, it is revealed about Advaita Ācārya Prabhu. Mahavishnu Jagatkarta Mayaya Yaha Srijatyadaha Tasyavatara Evayam Advaita Ācārya Ishvaraha. Lord Advaita Ācārya is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the action of Maya. So again, it is revealed further in the purports that Advaita Ācārya is actually, an incarnation of Mahavishnu, and he is re-established as Vishnu Tattva. His identity is re-established as Vishnu Tattva. Now, why is he called Advaita Ācārya is revealed next. Advaitam Harinadya Advaitad Ācāryam Bhakti Shamsanat Bhaktavataram Isham Tam Advaita Ācāryam Ashraye. Advaitam, known as Advaita. Harina, with Lord Hari. So he is appearing as associate, and he is referred to as a ling, which is more intimate than just hands or fingers or legs or feet. Advaitad, from being non-different. So he is non-different from Lord Hari. Ācāryam, he is known as Ācārya. And why is he known as Ācārya is revealed? As Bhakti Shamsanat, because he is preaching the cult of devotional service. So he is spreading the glories of devotional service. And to devotional service to whom? Isha, to the Supreme Lord. tam to him, Advaita Ācārya, to the Advaita Ācārya, Ashraye, I surrender. So I take shelter of Advaita Ācārya, who is non-different than the Lord. Advaita. Dvaita means different. Advaita is non-different. Who's non-different from the Lord, and he is spreading, he is the Ācārya. Ācārya has to do with, very much close to, the word has to do with Ācarana. So one who is showing by example is an Ācārya. It's not that one he is saying and then does something different, right? One who walks the talk is an Ācārya, in short. So here Advaita Ācārya is revealing by his own actions as how to, practice devotional service, how to preach devotional service, and how to constantly engage and spread the mercy of devotional service. So we take shelter of him. Now, as we talk about Mahavishnu, it is also revealed that there are two causes of the appearance of Advaita Ācārya. There is an efficient cause, and then there is a material cause. The efficient cause is in the form of Mahavishnu, and it's an instrument. So Mahavishnu is an instrument by which the material universes are created. From the pose of Mahavishnu, all these material universes are emanating, as we hear in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then there's a material cause. As all these universes are created, their material energy has to be set into action. So, to see that the material elements are set into action is the Advaita aspect. So, here, Lord Mahavishnu, he glances at the material energy, and the material energy is agitated. But it's not directly agitated. It is agitated through the agency of Shambhu, Lord Shiva, Sadashiva. And so, the material universe gets into action, into the activities prevail from that point. Otherwise, material energy on its own is jada. It's, it doesn't move on its own. It has to be moved, it has to be engaged, it has to be agitated, or it has to be activated, simply stated. So Advaita Ācārya is an incarnation of, he's a combined incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. And this is revealed in Gaura Ganopdesha Deepika. Now Sadashiva was also a cowherd boy in Goloka. It's very interesting, It's interesting to see that as we reveal one aspect, there is an aspect further in it. So there are layers and the layers and the layers, and it's sweeter and sweeter as we go in, as these are revealed to us. And Sadashiva is a cowherd boy who loves to dance with Krishna. And he is in Goloka. So Advaita Ācārya is also an incarnation. So he's a combined incarnation of Shambhu, Sadashiva, yet Sadashiva in Goloka, and Mahavishnu. So he definitely is showing that how he is constantly having relationships. He's associating with Krishna in different forms, yet at the same time, he's non-different from Krishna. He's Advaita. Now, it's very interesting that when we discuss about the demigods, and we tell people that Krishna consciousness is all about monotheism. We have one God. And demigods, the 33 crores, 3.3 million of them or billion of them, they are, just administrative authorities set by, assigned by the Supreme Lord. Now sometimes people, they find it hard to believe. They say, okay, we can understand Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you say, but then you have so many other incarnations, and you say that, okay, Lord Ram is also Supreme Personality of Godhead, Varahadev is also, then there is Narasimhadev, Vamandev, Parshuram, Kaliki is going to appear, Lord Buddha. So where is this, monotheism? You have so many gods yourself. Even on the altar, we see Shishi Radha Madan Mohan, Shishi Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman, and Shishi Gauranitai. And further, looking at the modern incarnations, just like we covered right now, there are 3 Vishnu Tattvas appearing. So all are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda and Advaita Ācārya, all three of them. So it's very confusing. Then the Acharyas have revealed that Lord expands, not divides. He expands himself. He doesn't divide himself into different sections. And that's the characteristic, as we can understand, from the super soul, right? Super soul is residing in everyone's heart. So I may know my business, you may know your business, and you may know your business, but he knows everyone's business. Nothing is hidden from him. And it is said that he's so close to the soul, super soul is so close to the soul, that before even the soul, as soon as it has a desire, the super soul knows. Even before it's thinking of executing, means that's the next action. To engage material energy, our senses, in executing the desire, super soul knows it. And he is the permitter and overseer. So as we hear, Advaita Ācārya, he is an combined incarnation of Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. And yet at the same time, it is monotheism because he is expanding himself. Means Lord Krishna is expanding himself into various incarnations. So again, there is a main candle, Lord Krishna, and then there are other candles. This is an analogy Srila Prabhupada used to give. That the main candle which is lighted is lighting other candles which have equal potency as the main candle. Now, Advaita Ācārya, his birth, today is the anniversary, so we all know that in the month of Magh Mas, the 7th day, the Saptami, is when he was born, and the year was 1434. And the year he departed was 1559. So he was on this planet for 125 years. Significant, right? Lord Krishna is also said to be on this planet for 125 years. And at the same time, he appeared much before Nityananda Prabhu appeared, or any of the four, of the Panchtattvas, other four Panchtattvas who appeared. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in 1486. So Advaita Ācārya, appearing in 1434, was 52 years older, right, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Yet at the same time, Advaita Ācārya had a very significant role in the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was observing, let's discuss his birth birth. So his father's name was Shri Kuvera Pandit, and his mother was Srimati Nabha Devi. And they were devotees of Lord Narasimhadev. And once, desiring a son, Kuvera Pandit, he worshipped Lord Sadashiva. And Lord Sadashiva appeared and asked him, "What do you want?" And he said that I would like to have a son like you. So he said, "You cannot have a son like me, but I will appear as your son." So that's the boon given. So on the 7th day of Magh Mas, Lord Advaita Ācārya, he had went. So when he is born, in Bhakti Ratnakar, it is revealed that his name was Mangala, and he was also called Kamala Aksha. So Kamala Aksha. Aksha means eyes, and Kamala is lotus. So it identifies that lotus-eyed. So his eyes are like lotus. That's the meaning. And then of course it's a name of the Supreme Lord as well. We talk about his lotus feet, his lotus eyes. So that's another name. And as he was growing, he became a great scholar. He studied Vedas, the scriptures, and he was also known as Kamalakanta Veda Pachanana. So that was another name as a upadhi that he received. And of course, as he grew, he was, also preaching Krishna consciousness very energetically. So he was constantly holding preaching sessions at his home. And he was, being a scholar, he was presenting the personalist aspect, through devotional service, through his preaching. While he was observing that there were great Pandits, means again at that time, let's discuss the place he was born. He was born at Silhita, which is in current today's Bangladesh. This is in Bhakti Ratnatkar. And as per Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan, it's revealed that he was born in Laura. But nevertheless, he moved to Silhita. And as he grew up, he moved to Shantipur. And in Shantipur, he had his home, and he also had a home in Navdvip. Navdvip was the learning center of India at that time. So again, of Bharatvash. So there, he had a house as well, and he was constantly preaching. And even though Navdvip was the learning center at that time, and there were great scholars, they were great with grammar, great with logistics, great in logic, and as well as with their debating capacity and so forth. One of the things that was very much evident, that these great scholars, they were too materialistic or impersonalist in their aspects. So those were the two categories, that's been described in Bhakti Ratnatkar. So they were either looking to make money, so they were carrying out various ritualistic activities, fooling the general populace and creating more havoc in this Kali age, or they were preaching impersonalistic theory, that, talking about Brahman and not really talking about the essential Tattva par Brahman, and saying that you can become God by merging into Brahman. So that's Mayavadi philosophy. And this was very much disturbing when he was hearing all this. And so he started praying to his deities, his Shaligram Shila. And he was praying very fervently. It is said that, he was calling out for the Lord to appear, not to send someone to remove this miserable condition of Kali age, but to appear himself, that, oh, please appear. And he was roaring. Can you imagine this? When someone is calling, they are roaring, that please appear. That shows, first of all, it shows how energetic he was, that he was roaring. Hunkar, that's the word used. And he was calling, Lord, please come. So at the bank of Ganges, where he was carrying out this service, it's actually, they have created a shrine, a place of worship to remember him, not shrine. And as he was growing up, everyone was surprised. He was so beautiful, looking at his features, and as well as he was such a scholar. So everyone was calling Kuber Pandit and his wife very lucky. And as time would have it, because of providence, means soon Advaita Ācārya, Shri Advaita Ācārya's parents, they left this world. And so Advaita Ācārya, he went to Gaya to perform the Shah ceremony and so forth. And then further he continued his journey to Vrindavan. Now there is a connection with Vrindavan. It's very interesting. In Vrindavan, there was a tree under which Advaita Ācārya would regularly meditate. So that place is now known as Advaita Vat. And there he discovered Shri Madan Gopal deity. So he, gave this Madan Gopal deity to Purushottam Chaubey, a Brahmin, as he was coming back on his way. And Purushottam Chaubey and his wife, they were serving the deity. And now the deity, they had a son. So deity became a playmate of their son. And he would play with their son throughout the day. And so they would feed him, they would dress him. And just like happens, they were treating him just like son. They would even chastise the deity. Right? So deity were playing with their son, having wonderful pastime. And at that time, it just so happened, sometimes it's said that nothing lasts forever. It so happened that Sanatana Goswami, he saw, the deity playing with the boy. And he saw Purushottam, the Brahmin, Purushottam Chaubey, chastising the deity. And he said, you can't do that. So when Purushottam Chaubey and his wife, they heard Sanatana Goswami, of course Sanatana Goswami had a very revered position at that time. So they said, oh, we must have committed some great offense. We need to rectify it. And so they were meditating on the offenses that they had been committing all this time. And Sanatana Goswami, he left. Now, as normally happens, in the dream of Sanatana Goswami, Madan Gopal deity appeared. And he said, what's this? You spoiled all the fun. I was having such a nice time. And then you came and you preached how the deity is to be taken care of, and it's just spoiled all the fun. I was enjoying it. And now that you have done this, you have to serve me. You know, it's amazing how even something that upsets the Lord further engages it. He finds a way. Because he did not want to disturb the mood of Purushottam Chaubey and his wife. And then he also, to make sure that, when Sanatana Goswami comes, he gets the deity, he appears in the dream of Purushottam Chaubey and his wife. And he says that I'm very happy that you have served me all this time. And now I want to be served by Sanatana Goswami. So tomorrow when he will come, you hand me over to him. And as Providence would have it, next morning Sanatana Goswami, he goes there to Purushottam Chaubey's home. And he starts serving the deities right then and there. And Purushottam Chaubey understands that, yes, he has received the message. He has, So at that time, Madan Gopal deity is handed over to Sanatana Goswami. And the deity is later known as Madan Mohan. Now our deity is also known as Madan Mohan. Very nice significance. So when I was reading it, was like so sweet, a pastime. And of course, we all know that Madan Mohan deity was, when he was carved, at that time he was Vrajanath, the grandson of Lord Krishna. He actually, was responsible for getting it carved, and he had his mother Uttara. Uttara was the one who actually gave the description, as well as Vrajanath's mother. So they gave the description, and that's how the deities were carved. So goes the connection with Vrindavan. Now Advaita Ācārya, he moved back to Shantipur. He came back and he settled in Shantipur. And he was praying to the Lord, worshipping Shaligram Shila. And Shaligram Shila worship, of course, you're directly dealing with Krishna. It is said, Krishnadas Kaviraj reveals, that when you are worshipping Shaligram Shila, all you have to do is offer Tulsi and Jal, referring to Ganga Jal or Yamuna Jal. And when you offer regularly, Lord is purchased. He's so merciful when someone with pure devotion, offers. So of course, Lord advents in this material world by the request of who? Sri Advaita Ācārya. And in 1486, when Lord appeared, at that time, it's given that Advaita Ācārya himself didn't know, but his wife. Now Advaita Ācārya had two wives. Sita Thakurani, she was his first wife, and then Sri Devi. Now Sita Thakurani is an incarnation of Yogamaya, and Sri Devi is her expansion, Yogamaya's expansion. So Sita Thakurani, she took a lot of gifts, and she took these gifts to Jagannath Mishra's home and celebrated Nimai's birthday, right? The appearance day of Lord Nimai, and the celebration went on for many days. Now Advaita Ācārya, he was preaching daily, and he only had a handful of people who were coming to his preaching. And one of them was the older brother of Nimai, Vishnurupa. So Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they had two sons, right? The older one was Vishwarupa, and the younger one was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was at that time known as Nimai. And later on also became known as Vishwambhar. So Vishwarupa was a regular attendant at his preaching sessions. And sometimes when Advaita Ācārya Prabhu would be busy in worshipping his deities, at that time Vishwambhar would take the opportunity to cover some of the lessons that he had learned. And he would explain the scriptures so nicely that Advaita Ācārya would sometimes leave the deity worship and immediately go and embrace Vishwarup. So as you can understand, when someone is very obediently listening attentively to the teacher, they get that extra blessing. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nand Kore Vaishnavind ki jai. Shri Advaita Ācārya ki jai. So here, Vishwarup was, regularly attending, and he's getting more and more attraction towards devotional service and towards Krishna Bhakti. And as Nimai, he became little older, toddler, ready to be able to walk. His mother, Sachi Mata, she would give him prasadam to take to Advaita Ācārya's home, to give it to Vishwarup. So Lord Nimai, he would come daily with prasad, and he would bring it for Vishwarup. Now Advaita Ācārya, every time he saw that Lord Gaurachandra, who was just a baby at that time, he felt a special attraction. He didn't know why this attraction is there. But he was feeling this attraction towards the Lord. And as is the custom in India, at that time, and again, earlier times as well, people used to get married really young. So as someone would enter, from Pondraka age, sometime in Pondraka age itself, or even when they are going to Kumar age, teenagers age, they would get married. And the aspect was that they would not be living together, but the girl would move and would be trained till she becomes old enough to be able to carry out her duties. And she would be trained in the house of her in-laws. So Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they started discussing that we need to have Vishwarupa, we need to get him married. And Vishwarupa, when he learned that, he ran away. He said, I want to take sannyas. I have nothing to do with marriage. And it was such a blow. You have your older son and suddenly he goes away. He doesn't return. He says, I want to take sannyas. I don't want to get married. And he never returned. And Jagannath Mishra could not recover from that blow. So he passed away. And Sachi Mata was given the responsibility of, take care of Lord Nimai. And as Nimai was growing up, he started getting attraction to go to Advaita Ācārya Prabhu's home. So at that time, when Jagannath Mishra was still there, at that time, they decided that he should not, further on study because they had made that decision. Yet at the same time, with his sweet words, Lord Nimai, he somehow consoled that, okay, I should go and, be educated. Sachi Mata allowed, and Lord Nimai started going to Advaita Ācārya's preaching sessions regularly. And she started seeing he's getting affection, he's getting attracted towards this preaching of Advaita Ācārya. So in her mind, she never thought ill about Advaita Ācārya, even though she knew that it was the preaching sessions that Vishwarup attended at Advaita Ācārya's home that caused him to run away from home. She never thought ill of Advaita Ācārya. Yet at this particular time, when Nimai started showing similar symptoms, and mind you, at this time he was already married, she started thinking, oh, if Nimai has to take sannyas, it would cause havoc on the family, right? He is married, and that will not be right. And Nimai was married to Lakshmi Priya at this time. So she started thinking, and she only thought in her mind that this Advaita Ācārya, he is actually Dvaita. He is not Advaita. He is not different. He is also one. But Dvaita is one who splits. Dvaita who causes multiple, so two. So he's Dvaita. He causes splits in the family. And of course, Nimai, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately recognized that his mother has caused an offense. She has offended at the lotus feet of Lord Advaita Ācārya. So he went to her and he said, you should ask for forgiveness. And she understood the offense that she has committed. She said, okay. But she was trying to find an opportunity. And Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai, he gives us that opportunity. So once, when Advaita Ācārya was, preaching, as he was so lost in his meditation, he went to that state of samadhi that he fainted. And at that time, Sachi Mata, getting a hint from Nimai, immediately went, took the lotus dust from his feet and put it on her hand, on her body. When she smeared it, she got that. She was washed off of her offense. So again, it's very important to hear that even Lord's mother is not, forgiven for an offense. Offense, Vaishnava Aparadh, especially at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, is also known as mad elephant disease. And Lord even did not forgive his mother. So there's a lesson here that we should be very respectful of the Vaishnavas. Actually, to be safe, we should be very respectful of everyone. Because everyone is a living entity, and Jivera Sarup Hoya Krishnera Nityadas. So they are eternal servant of Krishna, they are just in forgetfulness for the time being. And this time being is very minuscule in reality, which appears to be like so big to us, but actually is very small duration. So here, it just happened that after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he returned from Gaya having taken initiation. So again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from Ishwarpuri, while Advaita Ācārya had taken initiation from Madhavendra Puri, who is the spiritual master of Ishwarpuri. So it's very interesting that Advaita Ācārya, wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya. And why? Because Lord Chaitanya means, again, he reveals, after he returns from Gaya, he wants to reveal to everyone his true identity. At that time, Advaita Ācārya was in Shantipur. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Ramya to say, okay, go and get Advaita Ācārya, and I will allow him to, worship me. So Ramya came, and he said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how will I know where Advaita Ācārya is? He's like, no, don't worry, just go to Shantipur, you will find. So Advaita, Ramya went, and he immediately was able to find Advaita Ācārya's home, and he invited, and Advaita Ācārya was in complete bliss that Lord appeared, listening to my prayers to deliver the fallen souls in this material world. So again, that was his prayer. That not just, again, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asked for a lot of qualification. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Ācārya, they are freely giving without qualification, not looking at the qualification of the recipients, they're distributing the love of Godhead. So he is in jubilation. So with his wife and sons, he comes to Mayapur. But then he wants to test Lord. He wants to test the Lord. So he says, okay, nobody should tell him that I am at Nandan Acharya's home. I'm hiding there. So now, when Ramya comes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, go and call Advaita Ācārya at Nandan Acharya's home. He is there. So Ramya goes again in Mayapur, and he goes to Nandan Acharya's home, and there Advaita Ācārya is. So he says, oh, Lord has passed the test. It's very interesting that, how their pastimes within themselves are going on. There is an example where in Vaikuntha, Vishnu wanted to see Lord Krishna. So he tricks by taking Brahman sons, right? We have that example. Because he wanted to see Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna took Arjuna to retrieve the Brahman sons, but then they went there in non-Narayan form. So they further tricked Lord Vishnu. So this is constantly going on. This is a relationship. This is, the constant sweet bliss of relationship exchanges that happen in relationships. Now, there are many pastimes, but because of the time, I'll just cover the last one. So, it just so happened that Advaita Ācārya, during the Chaturmasya, when Lord had taken sannyas and he had moved to Jagannath Puri, he used to go to Jagannath Puri. And once it so happened that he sent a message when he came back to Navdvip, he sent a message for the Lord. He said, he asked Jagadanand to convey the message to the Lord. And he said that this message is from one madman to another madman. That, you have gone mad, and I have gone mad, the whole world has gone mad, and now there is no need to distribute rice because there is no more demand of rice. So to stop distributing the rice. And Jagadanand, he couldn't understand what this message is. It's a form of riddle. So he took the message nevertheless, and he delivered it to the Lord. And he also, asked Swarup Damodar, what does it mean? Swarup Damodar knew what it meant, but he didn't say anything. He said, only Lord knows. At that time, hearing this, but Lord got the message. Lord got the message that, you have advented to this material world in this Kali age to taste the love of Godhead. And that's Krishna Prema. And having tasted it, you have become intoxicated. And due to such heavy intoxication, you have become mad. So much so that you distributed it freely and you have made the whole world mad. So much so that even I, Advaita Ācārya is referring to himself in the riddle, I have become mad. So there is a madman to another madman. And so there is no need to, of rice. There is no demand of rice. And so if you so desire, so there is no more need to spread this Krishna consciousness. And if you so desire, you go back home, back to your abode. So this is a hint given to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And similarly, as we see in 10th canto of Krishna book, means again, Lord Brahma, 11th canto, it's revealed, that in the beginning of 11th canto, that Lord Brahma and other demigods, they come and pray to the Lord and they said that, okay, you have accomplished the mission that you advented for. And now you may, if you so desire, go back home to your abode. And similarly in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana is revealed. So again, constantly when Lord appeared, there are some signs given. So taking the sign Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he leaves this material world. So it's very important for us to realize that, And then Advaita Ācārya, he continued to preach very strongly. And of course, there are the two main branches. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't just distribute this love of Godhead. He actually had done this through the agency of Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Ācārya. So that signifies that Lord gives this love of Godhead through the agency of his devotees in the Parampara system. So that's another message. So we should take shelter of the devotee of the Lord, serve them so that we can get Krishna Bhakti. Hare Krishna. And of course, we all get it because of that intoxication that comes through the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Shri Advaita Ācārya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anand Kori Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Go Premanande, Hare Hare.